Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is May 31st, 2024, and it's been a productive day. After doing a little bit of sleuthing, I was able to find out from where the Purpose Driven Life book that I received originated. And I already had my suspicions as far as who it came from, but as far as how it got to me, it was very mysterious because the book was mailed to me from an address that was scratched out. The address that was scratched out alluded to the fact that this book came from a place called New Hope, and yet New Hope had an address that was incorrect based on what was entered into the postal system. So what I ended up doing after reviewing a little bit more about where the postage was saying it originated from was doing a cross search between the name of the church that was listed and the zip code that it actually came from, as far as where it was dropped off. And that postage information linked back to a church that was right in the proximity, like literally 2 corners away from the person who I thought the book was sent by. Now, many of you could not care less about the fact that I got a book, which was a good book, by the way. I'm not saying that it replaces the book that it was inspired by, but it's a good enough book that I actually got some insight out of it and would have gladly discussed it with other people, as was suggested in the book itself. But the book was mailed to me kind of out of spite. It was mailed to me by someone who is very much into religion and who thought that they were sending me something that either I wouldn't appreciate or I wouldn't read or that I wouldn't apply. And since the book talks very clearly about making sure to apply these conversations into our group conversations that we naturally would have, I want to reiterate that the person who sent me this book is somebody who has uninvited me from the conversations that we are supposed to be having. So for the purpose of the review of the Purpose Driven Life, my particular purpose is to communicate, especially with those who interact with me for whatever reason, because we're all on a journey. And on this journey, we're interacting with one another for some reason or another. And for those who are interacting with me, I'm doing my best to interact on the spiritual level in every instance. So even if I type some comments onto a random YouTube page that sometimes might get someone's heart rate up a little bit, well, the agitation that most people are experiencing seems to be centered around not having the ability to have a full conversation. So for those who are able to have a full conversation, thank God that you're able to do so, and also try to give the opportunity to the other person who's not able to have a conversation for whatever reason by initiating the conversation. If someone reaches out to you, don't ghost one another. Try to befriend one another. The fellowship aspect that's referenced in Rick Warren's book is actually quite compelling. Just like the power of Christ might compel us to speak with one another if we are in favor of peace. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Peace, love, and all that old school stuff.